Okay. I like my picture. I should take a picture. Okay. Welcome to Stitch and Stuff. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kim.
And we're glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. It's Christmas time. As you can see, we've got our Christmas trees behind us. Well, you have your tiny one. And I have my big giant tree, way bigger than any tree we've ever had before. It's really big.
That's pretty, yeah, it's nice. You got the space.
Yeah, we had some room. We haven't ever put it here before. Normally we put it over to my left is our living room, which is one big room with our dining room. So I'm sitting in the dining area of it, and then we have it separated off. But we moved our TV around this year from a different wall, and it's mounted on the wall where we usually put our Christmas tree. And I was like, we're not going to want to put our tree there this year. So it worked out well, actually, to put it right here. I kind of like it. And when we eat dinner.
Did you close that? Did you close the vent that's over there though?
No, because it's not even on top. I mean, it's kind of over the vent, but the vent is kind of off to the side behind it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. And it blows warm air, but it's not like hot air. Like I would never worry about it.
Just keep watering it.
Yeah, but I have to keep watering
it. Good job.
It.
Everybody loves.
I know I have to and we have it pretty, he didn't cut off a lot of branches at the bottom, so it goes really close to the floor.
Yeah.
You have to really like,
you're gonna get gifts underneath there.
I just do it because it's like I'm less likely to spill trying to get it into the tree stand. So I've been doing it every day. And if I just know I'm going to do it every day, then I know it gets done every day.
Yeah.
Because in the past, sometimes when I've kind of tried to assign it out as a job to somebody, it doesn't always happen. And then the tree dries out for a couple days and we didn't know. So
yeah. And then you're like,
I decided to embrace it this year. I'm the tree waterer. So yeah.
Well, we gave that job up a long time ago when we bought an artificial tree.
That's true. You don't have to water it. Did I tell you we got a foot of snow yesterday?
No.
We really talked yesterday about it. I posted a picture, but we got so much snow. I think it was probably 12 inches.
I don't think I saw that picture.
I think I posted it on Instagram. It was a story. I don't know if I actually took any pictures. Well, and now it's melting, but I mean, it was like at least 12 inches. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So
I think they were getting slammed in Tri-Cities. Aunt Phyllis and Uncle Don, they've been really sick.
Oh, anyway,
they've had COVID and then other stuff for like the last 2 months almost. Oh, so man. They were saying how their neighbors were coming over and doing their driveway for them. So I figured they were getting slammed too.
Yeah, they did get a lot of snow in the Tri-Cities.
We not have any more snow. We are having rain.
We've been having rain today too, so everything is kind of melting and dreary.
And it's supposed to be sunny the rest of the week. Well,
really?
Part of this week. Yeah, cold, like in the 20s.
Yeah, that's where I did see there was kind of like a high pressure system coming through.
Yeah, crazy.
But I think we're supposed to get kind of more storms maybe late next week, possibly. So I guess we'll have to watch and see.
We have a slight chance of snow a week from Monday. Well, that's so far out in Seattle, you can't really count on that at all.
By then. Yeah.
Anyway.
If you're new watching us, we're both in Washington State, but we're on opposite sides of the mountain. So I'm in eastern, sort of central Washington, and Mom is in western Washington. And so our weather tends to be very different from each other.
Very different, yeah. I can't even really say like you get our weather, or I mean, I just think the weather patterns are.
Yeah, well, we are in the rain shadow from the mountains. So often whatever weather you had kind of rains out before it hits over to us. And so then it's really dry here most of the time. But it's been, I think that this system came up sort of from the south. So we got kind of scooped up towards us. And we got a bunch of snow while you got rain.
We got rain and a little bit of wind, but yeah, it's been cozy. I mean, I'm finally done decorating.
Good. Me too.
Finally, I don't know why it took so long this year.
Well, maybe I put some more greenery out. I guess I just realized I never put greenery on the hedge.
I told Sarah, I think I told somebody that when you, I don't, I mean, this isn't true for everybody, I'm sure, but I've talked to a couple other people and it was true for them too, in my age group. After your kids kind of move on and you don't have anybody living at home with you anymore, decorating the tree is really not all that much fun. We put the tree up a week and a half ago and the lights, and just had the lights on. And I probably would have been fine with that if we weren't having everybody over for Christmas.
Yeah.
but it did look a little bare. So the other night I said, we have to decorate the tree tonight, Carrie. He's like, oh, okay. So we came home from work, and granted, he's working like insane hours.
Yeah,
you know,
his schedule is not fun.
Yeah, it's been really bad, really bad. Anyway, so he was sitting in here, you know, on his computer, and I was starting to make dinner. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to take a few minutes and just kind of start putting some decorations on. So I opened the crate up, and that's the other problem at our age. We've been married 40 years. We have a lot of ornaments, just a lot. And that's after giving all of our kids their ornaments that they had.
Oh yeah, I probably don't even put up a third of our ornaments already.
Yeah, it's just kind of overwhelming when I look at those. And so I kind of picked through and like picked all my glass crystal-y ones. And then I have some frosted glass white balls that have some glitter on them that are kind of pretty. And then I bought some old, I don't know how old they are, but they're kind of like the shiny brights from the 50s and 60s, just little, just round colored red, blue, gold. And I bought those at the thrift store a few years ago. And so I popped from some of those on, and then some of the ornaments that my mom made back in probably 1969, 1970, somewhere around there, that are velvet and sequiny. And I have like some of my favorite ones from her. So it's actually very pretty. And we also don't have a big tree. I mean, that tree is not that big. And so then Dad pulled out some of his favorites. And so I think what I'm going to do this year is when we pull that ornaments down, I'm going to put them in a box. And those are the ones that we used. Mm-hmm. And then put those on next year to start with. And if we want to add any, we can dig through the other boxes.
Yeah.
So it feels so overwhelming, maybe.
Yeah.
I've kind of done that with my other decorations for other areas of the house. I kind of have a layer in my crates on the bottom with tissue paper on top saying not used this many years, but I don't want to get rid of it yet. Yeah. And then the stuff I use is on top. I'm very, very organized when it comes to that.
Pretty organized for decoration. That would probably be good for me if I did a little more organization.
It makes it less, I don't know. It doesn't feel like such a big job when I know these are all the mantle stuff. This is all this stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I've had a lot of years of practice, and you know, I'm sorry, but when you have a December birthday,
yeah, you have a lot of Christmas
stuff. Over the years. I don't so much anymore, but I used to get a lot of Christmas things for my birthday. I don't so much anymore, but I've just got a lot of Christmas stuff.
Yep.
A lot. I'm a little bit extra.
You do have a lot of Christmas stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell the girls that we're recording. Well, maybe one will wander up. So if you're new joining us, my daughters also cross stitch and knit. So they'd like to come on and show what they were doing, but I forgot to mention that we started recording. Maybe I'll send my errand boy down to do that. my audience, my errand boy audience. That's you, honey.
In case you didn't get the hint.
Hint. Could you let the girls know I'm recording if they want to come show anything?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. What's in Princess Bride? What does she call him? Servant boy? No.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Boy.
I'm waiting to hear As You Wish.
You're gonna be waiting a long time.
I get that anymore. I used to, but not anymore.
Yeah, charm is worn off.
You have a fully finished, you said, and I haven't even seen it yet.
I do. So this was when I started. I don't know what I started it for. I started it for something. Maybe just for the fun of it. Imagine that. It's my Shepherd's Bush one.
Oh,
it's the free one. Happy. You can't see the all very well, but it's Happy Christmas to all down here.
This reminds me that I need to. My little hook for the Shepherd's Bush one that I did, the little ribbon fell off.
Oh yeah.
I need to read that so I can put on my tree. That's cute.
It's a freebie on their website.
Yeah, you added those buttons on your own, right?
Well, it does call for, they probably at one time, they probably still have them, a snowflake and star, but I didn't order them. I just got some at Stitch and Stuff at Threadneedle. So I just got a couple silver snowflakes and I just got these little stars.
Cute.
And added them to myself. And then little red seed beads. They're actually the ones that you need for one of your projects that I opened that I'm keeping. And I checked for those beads when I was there, and she hasn't gotten any. But anyway, this is the same. It's not the same one, but it's.
Those ones are like out. They must be a really popular color because they were the ones that were out at 1, 2, 3 Stitch for a while too.
Well, they're that deep red. And I think people use a lot of those deeper reds. But this frame I got at Hobby Lobby, and I actually bought the same frame and did my thankful in it from Emily Call.
I like that frame. It's kind of
like
interesting looking. Is it
Yeah.
red? Is it goldish red all the way up? Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my light.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of goldish. Yeah. Kind of a burnished gold.
Oh yeah, the whole thing. I couldn't tell if it was like wood with an edging that was goldish because
it's just a 5x7, so it's nice and small. I was gonna pillow it, and I thought, no, I don't feel like doing a pillow. I just feel like I don't have a lot of. I have a few framed Christmas things, like I have my angels that are up this year, and I've got something of my mom. I did make my mom. But I thought I could make room for this little cutie. So I thought I was just very happy to have a finish. And this also, in case you're new and don't know, or if you've been watching but never caught, Melanie Watkins from the Soulful Stitcher on her Facebook page has a 25/7 challenge going on to just stitch on something 25 minutes, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And so I had chosen this after I finished my last one, which was
button up, right?
I button up back there. So that was my
over more. The other direction. In that white frame.
I'm like a newborn. That was my last 25/7, and then this one moved into it. So now I got to pick a new one.
Cute.
But anyway, that was really fun to finish that. So yeah, woohoo!
That's fun.
Woohoo! Yeah.
We love to, at the beginning of our videos, do a featured friend segment where we feature what it sounds like, a friend's stitching. So today we're going to feature a finish sent to us by Teresa. So I will put that picture right here. Teresa said she wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving because she sent this at Thanksgiving time, but we just are doing it in the order that I got them. And let's see, she said that this pattern is by Autumn Lane and she stitched it on 11 or 14 count. She couldn't remember. I coffee tea dyed it myself and it was a fun stitch. So those are so cute. The Thanksgiving and the autumn are both adorable and I hadn't seen those before.
No, and yeah, like you were saying, Autumn Lane stitchery stuff doesn't pop up in my feed very often.
Yeah.
So when you send those in, when you send those in, they're like new patterns for us.
Yeah. So I went and followed them on Instagram so I would start to see their things pop up in my feed a little bit more. I just realized how similar the two patterns are. So they're almost the same pattern, except for one has a turkey, one has a scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then one says give thanks. I mean, there's differences, but the basic pattern is really similar.
I wonder if I'm not following them.
Yeah, I wasn't. So now I am. So
I am.
These things. But that's interesting that they don't pop up for you. So thanks for sending those, Teresa. Those are so cute. Yeah. And really fun to share those. And see
super cute.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, your fabric turned out really cute too. Just a nice subtle dye. It looks like shows off the orange and the blue is really nice.
I haven't tea dyed anything in a long time.
I haven't really either. I haven't. Well, I feel like I've kind of started some kits or used scraps of fabric. Or
I have a piece that I'm going to start this month for Magazine Monthly that I'll talk about. I wonder what fabric I pulled. I wonder if I should.
It looks so dark.
Yeah, tea dye that one. I might see what I have if it would work. Yeah, I do like that look every once in a while for certain things.
Yeah,
especially fall pieces. I really like tea dyed for fall pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the girls are not upstairs yet, so usually Sarah's girls are here.
He went down there, so I guess if they come up, we can interrupt and let them show.
Yeah.
They have all been knitting like crazy. They all started. They're at the point now. So they have a little girl who's a friend of ours in our homeschool knitting co-op class that I'm teaching, who already kind of knew how to knit, but she wanted to learn a few things like more technique. but she's really good about just going on YouTube and learning her own stuff.
Ah,
So now the girls are like, oh, we could do that too. So they all dug through some of our extra yarn and all started big projects and wanted to try to learn things like herringbone stitch and stuff like that. So
wow.
I'm like, go for it. That's how you're going to learn more.
That's how I learned. I mean, after the basics, I mean, I've learned a lot of techniques. In fact, I've got some saved for that cowl I'm doing, because that cowl that I've been working on has a bobble stitch, and there's lots of ways to do bobbles.
Yeah.
And I found a way that actually she claims her way keeps them from sinking back in. So I'm gonna try. Yeah, YouTube and Knit Pearl Hunter, man, they're your go-to.
Yeah.
So I do have a huge bag of that dishcloth yarn that they can mess around with too.
Oh, they might like that.
Like a garbage bag full.
Oh, they might like to do that because I'm not letting them like dig through my nice yarn, but we had some yarn that we had bought for a project for a birthday party, and I told them they could have free reign with some of the yarns. So
right, and they could practice those stitches and make dishcloths out of them too.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to tell them. They've all kind of wanted to do scarves and stuff because they want to wear them.
And that too. Yeah.
And they did do their little, if they come up, I'll ask them to talk about their little gift exchange, because that was really fun that they did with their girlfriends at Co-op. But I'll wait. If they come up, I'll have them talk about it. So, well, I stitched that much. So first of all, we had our big homeschool co-op party, which I was planning. I think I talked about that some last week. We had it. It's done. That was fun. But there were a couple nights that I was working on stuff for that, and a couple nights where I was knitting my order for my raccoon hood. So I did try to stitch, but a couple nights I also stitched on the same thing. So I followed.
Did you get both hoods done?
No, I still need to finish the second hood. I have till like Wednesday to mail it or something. So I need to knit on that this evening. But
oh, good for you though.
Yeah, it'll go fast now. Now it's just stockinette knitting around. So I got one mailed off, and then I just need to finish the other one. So I decided to enter all of my magazine monthly challenge pieces into the Tiny Decisions app under a December wheel. So if you've never seen this before, you can download this app for free. I actually paid for like a $2 version of it that allows me to weight how likely it is that one of my choices is going to be chosen, because if I want to work on something for 4 hours, it'll be on the wheel twice as much.
Oh.
But so anyways, so that was my wheel. So I've been letting the wheel tell me which of those things I'm going to stitch, just kind of for fun.
Yeah.
So this one got chosen twice. Where is the... Oh, here it is. My Snow Queen was chosen 2 times. So I actually worked on this a couple times.
So important.
I decided to take it off my Q-snap. So I don't have any of those like grime guards, and I'm not going to like go be really involved in putting something to protect the stitching. I would rather just pop a hoop that's not really tight on and off. So I decided to take the Q-snap off, as I am now getting to the point where some of it would be covered up by the Q-snap. So here's where I'm, oh gosh, all my parked thread, my semi-parked threads. I also kind of wish I had a digital version of this for Pattern Keeper. So here I am. This is my Snow Queen.
Wow.
I knit a lot down here, so I've gotten a lot of white dress done and some up here. And I'm trying to decide where I'm going to go next. If I want to keep working on the dress, or so the pattern splits in half right here. So
one. And remember, there's no gray area.
I remember, and I double checked that. It looks like it is. It's grayed out, but it's not double. Yeah, it's there's no repeat. So that is a little tricky to figure out which square I'm doing, because I'll just flash it really quick. Half of the pattern is on one side and half is on the other side. So I'm trying to decide. I kind of think I don't know. I'm on the fence. Part of me wants to just keep going with the dress and like kind of finish that. But part of me feels like I'm already been working on the page that has the reindeer head. So part of me feels like maybe I should just keep going this way and do some different colors too, and do something. I haven't decided yet, but my Christmas lights are showing up in the back of it.
Hold it back up again. Hold the pattern back up again.
So
it's split.
I've got her head done for the most part. And
so is it top and bottom? One page is the top half and the bottom.
It's horizontal. So the split is this way. So
you're at that halfway mark.
Everything from here over is on one side and everything from here,
Got it.
this direction is on the other side of that big poster. So
Okay.
I might look into see how expensive if there's a digital version and how pricey it would be. Because it would be way easier to knit this on Pattern Keeper because of all the beads. There are so many
Stitch it.
beads.
Stitch it. You just keep saying knit it.
Oh, stitch it. Stitch it.
There's a lot of, you can see all the holes.
See all the
You can see where the
holes. It makes it really hard to see what I do still need to do. In fact,
Yeah.
here I started the purple sash actually coming off.
Mhm.
So that's kind of pretty. My colors aren't great. I have such a hard time getting good light in the winter, but so that was 2 nights of stitching, a couple of hours. I actually met my magazine monthly goal on this, but so that's the first thing. So the pattern is kind of hard to fold back up. I can never get it right. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I think it might be a nice thing to get the digital version of that so I can stitch
it might.
with pattern.
I don't know. Do they come out with digital versions of
I
it?
have no idea. That might not even be an option. Maybe I could.
Well, I know Stitching
Yep.
the Cabin, she enters patterns into Pattern Keeper. I think she scans them
I was
somehow.
gonna say, is she scanning them and then putting them in? But how do you do that so that the
I don't know. I remember them a long time ago having a video about that, and it was pretty tedious, especially for whatever pattern they were talking about. I think it was.
I probably would just keep. What I should do though is make a working copy so that I can kind of handle the pattern a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm always afraid when I'm doing those pieces that have folds on them that I'm going to move it so, handle it so much you're not going to be able to see that stitching line.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I probably should try and go make a working copy of it on my computer somehow.
Yeah, in sections or have to.
The other thing that I worked on is Winter's Piece.
You're gonna get that done come hell or high water, aren't you?
I like stitching it. I don't know why you didn't want to do it.
I don't know. I just had so many other ones.
I know. It's fun. I get it. I finished that big snowflake. The gold is not, my light isn't good enough to show really great. Here you go. Maybe you can kind of see the gold.
I can see it. Yeah.
So and then I started on the other.
Beautiful.
So there's 2 big snowflakes, one on each side of the snowman, and then a couple stars, and then it's done.
Yeah, I'll have that done before you know it. It'll be perfect to put up at winter time.
Wouldn't that be fun in January to put up? Yeah. Now it is. It's pretty. I like it.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I worked on besides all my crazy knitting is my Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. I had pulled over the picture. I thought maybe I left it on the coffee table. I do want to go get the photo if it's not in here.
The Shores?
Yeah, because let me just grab it. I think I must have left it on the. No, it's not over there. Where? I just saw it before we started and thought, oh, I'll grab that and bring it over. Okay, let me make sure I didn't shove it in here. No. Okay, scrap that. I'll just pull it up on my phone.
Oh, you're a picture of it, you mean?
Yeah.
I thought you'd lost your piece that you've been stitching on.
No, just the photo of the whole thing done. So I'll just click on, the photo pattern so you can see which one I'm working on. So this is what I'm working on. And I'm up here. I did the 3 across the top. There we go.
Yeah.
Text images and fast. I'm doing that moon square, but I don't have the moon done yet. But you can see I got all the words done. And I started to fill in the square block.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be done with that before you know it.
Well, I don't know. That moon is a lot.
Is it?
Well,
it is. What am I saying? Is it? It's a Hawk Run Hollow. Everything on those is a lot.
It's a lot. Oop, I had it zoomed in.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But it's blocky. It looks like it's blocky.
It is blocky, but each of those little squares
The different color
are all like different colors and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'll take it back.
There is kind of a couple common colors running through, so that might make it a little easier.
Yeah.
And that's everything I worked on this week. How's that?
Did you knit on Rosie's sweater?
No.
No. Okay.
This was
Well, you
working
had that party
on
to plan.
and I was doing the party.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I was going to show is my cowl that I'm knitting. It's called, what is it called? Heart warmer?
Heartwarmer.
Totally lost my Heart Warmer by Lettuce Knits. So that's the top down. So I started the broken rib section. So you can see where you do,
Oh yeah.
not showing up very well, my lighting. So you do a garter section and then you do a rib, one by one rib. And now I'm starting a garter break again. And then you do the rib one more time.
Pretty.
So, yeah, it's really, this yarn is very springy. I think it'll soften quite a bit, but it's pretty stretchy. So I think it'll be okay width-wise. I ordered a coat. I don't have a, this is, I don't know. It's partly living in Washington and partly just my own rebellion, I think, from my childhood. I'm just not a big fan of coats that much. Just in day to day. Like I can run to my car without a coat, turn my heat on, and I'm not cold, right? I don't live in a cold climate. And I have a really beautiful kind of woolish dress coat, but I don't really have a casual coat that I like. I have a couple of hand-me-downs that I don't really like that much. And so I ordered one online, and of course it's back ordered. It might be here in January, but it's kind of a dark gray, kind of a darkish gray. So I thought, oh, all my cowls that I've knit I think will look okay under it. So that was kind of exciting, but I'll have to wait a while because, you know, everything is back ordered.
Yeah.
Well, from this one company.
You don't have knitting? Oh, you took out your knitting. Sorry, Liddy came up. Does anybody else want to share anything? Okay.
No.
Okay. Just checking.
So I did work on that a little bit. But then the other thing, and this is on my magazine monthly, and I actually met my goal for it. It was to work 4 hours and to finish the first square, whichever came first. And it's my Crocetti Agogo.
Yeah.
Advent.
You really did.
I did. It's not a very good color. It's hard
to see, but
this is a piece, let me tell you. So I finally finished square one. I started it last year. It's a Christmas pie. And here it is.
Oh, that is cute.
So I basically did this, all of this, the like bow, the cake stand, and then I had done this to here and down to here. So I finished this, finished that. So for those of you who've been playing along at home since we started recording, I'm not a big fan of stitching borders. I like the way they look. So
yeah, that's a cute border too.
Yeah, it is kind of cute. Is it kind of blurry?
But you still have some red to do. Oh no, those two corners are not going to have the whole flower filled in?
Nope. They just have it. They just have it straight across. Yeah. Kind of interesting. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna if I go across, it's an ornament. If I go down, it's a cat and a mouse on a sled. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I thought, oh, you know, at first I wasn't sure. I think this fabric is kind of a bluish, and I wasn't sure I liked this on the blue fabric, but I think I'm gonna.
I like it.
When I get more of them on there. She uses a lot of this gold color, and I'm not a big fan of that color. I forget which color it is. With DMC it is, but I think once I got all the other stuff on, it doesn't bother me quite as much. Oh, that took me over 4 hours to do that little. There's a lot of counting on it on the parts that I did.
Be a little less orange.
Oh,
is that better? I just feel like as the sun keeps moving, I get orangier and orangier.
Yeah, they don't look too orange to me.
Okay, well, maybe it just
looks warm. Yeah. Okay, that took up a lot of time. And then I pulled out Winter Quaker because felt like working on that, and it's on here for the W in Twinkle, and I wanted to do 4 hours, and I did 4 hours, probably a little bit more. So I basically finished all of that square, and I did all of that.
Wow.
And I'll show you where I'm at here, in case you're unfamiliar with the Quakers. So I've basically done this, this. I just started that. And I need to message Carolyn in case she doesn't watch this, but there's a lot of backstitch. Oh, they're not showing up very well. Snowflakes all around here. I feel like she talked about doing something. She was going to do them in white rather than the Valdani, so they would show up more, or I can't remember what her plan was. Ooh, I just got really dark. I also threw in here a Krennic. A couple different Krennics. I did a white glittery one. Oh, it's not going to show. Kind of shows. And I did this one.
Oh, that's pretty too.
But I thought about maybe using as a second, like a filament on the snowflakes. And I feel like maybe she talked about that. I just can't remember. It was a while ago, but I remember there was some kind of talk about the backstitch snowflakes from her.
Pretty.
Anyway, so if you look at it from far away, oh, what happened here? What did my needle do? There we go.
Pretty. That
It
was
is
really pretty on that fabric.
I do love these Quakers, and
yeah,
I think they're just really pretty. So I worked on that a lot. So those 2 pieces got a lot of stitching, and then this last one is the last one I really worked on, and you should be mega impressed.
Okay, I will be.
Again, with the borders. I finished. Whoops, my needle is in the way here.
Do you want to watch that? We can finish in a half hour.
What?
I don't know, something that's coming on that he wants to maybe watch.
I finished all the border.
Whoa, you did it. I am very impressed.
I just have the December square, which is a tree and some stockings. And
how motivated do you feel to do that December square?
I feel pretty motivated now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's why I took several. So I basically
do the border first.
I basically had to do all of this side border, most of this bottom. I think I had this side already done.
All of it?
So I think I had all of that side. I had done the top, and I had this whole side, and then I had a few of these little motifs down here, these little floral separators. So that, now I'm like, woohoo!
You could totally have that done before the end of the year.
I know, totally can now.
Ooh,
yeah,
you could. If you got that border done, you'd be ready. I knew it.
I'm really excited about starting my new piece for next year.
Fun.
Oops, my needle's stuck. So yeah, that felt pretty good actually.
Fun.
You know, and it wasn't a bad border. It was just all those words.
Yeah.
But it was easy. It was easy stitching. It wasn't like some borders, you have to count. They're really complicated. This was straight down into the words. I just worked my way down. So I think that's all I worked on. Yeah, that is all.
You didn't work on your 4 seasons, girls.
I did not. I figured, I wanted to get this calendar piece done first. I figured the 4 seasons girls, if I don't get them done until January, it's still winter. I just have the winter piece, winter one to do. And I finished up I did my magazine monthly. I put my little stickers on it.
Cute.
So it's ready to go. I did some planning for next year.
Actually filled out. I got my Snow Queen is all done. I'm halfway done with Winter's piece. And today's call was my owls. I forget the rest one.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna do that.
Well, my focal piece is this piece. Oh, I threw it on the ground. It's the angel, the Told in a Garden angel.
Oh yeah, your pretty one.
My goal was to finish that, but I don't think I will, but who knows. And then Winter Quaker is done. I Bring Thee Joy by Pineberry. I only put 2 hours on that, so that won't take me long. Then I have a Heaven and Nature Sing. I don't think I brought it in here. It's, oh no, I did. It's a new, it'll be a new start. I kitted this up last year and never started it. It's very hard. It's by Brenda Gervais.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
an angel and there's a reindeer. This picture is really dark, but you can kind of see the angel. She's holding a big basket of flowers.
Yeah, that's a cute one.
Or I mean, yeah. So I have all the fancy floss. I mean, I bought it all. My fabric, it's kind of a flaxy color. So that's supposed to be done for N for nature. My K is Kim's Choice, the Four Seasons girls. Love and Light for L for the Advent. Advent means love and light to me. And then our E for Evergreen in the our year pattern, my calendar, because it's a Christmas tree.
Nice.
So yeah, I might be able to actually meet my goal on that.
You probably can.
And I did decide to take out, I don't know if I said it on the recording or if I just told you, WIPGO is not going to happen for December. I just can't. I'm failing. Okay. I had a good run this year. I had a better run.
Negative consequences if you don't.
I mean, I have some bingos. I just don't, I'm going to get the last couple off of there.
That's true. You just don't have blackout.
It called for gathering eggs, and I do love that piece, but I'm really, really wanting to stitch winter and Christmas right now. Yeah. So I just thought, yeah, just let it go. I'm going to revamp my WIPGO goals for next year so that I don't run into that. Well, I mean, I might run into it, but yeah,
you might, or if you just
But I did kind of figure out, okay, so for next year, my general plan was, and I talked about it last week, to do Quakers, seasonal Quakers. So winter, I'll work on winter Quaker. I need to get spring Quaker, and then summer Quaker, and then fall Quaker. So that's going to be that. And then I have this kind of goes into my haul. Should I just go into haul?
Yeah, we can blend plans and haul. That's fine.
Yeah, because my plans kind of involve haul.
With your haul.
So then I had decided to do the Pine Mountain little calendar pieces. It's all January.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get this all set up and ready to go. And this all in called for DMC. So I went to Hobby Lobby and got all my DMCs. It's snowman and a clock. These are, this might be a 2-year project, depending on how fast I can get these stitched. But I think I'm planning on doing January, and then when January is done, if I'm not done, I'll move into February because I want to keep it going. So anyway, that was part of my haul the other day. And then, sorry, I got a frog. My other haul, and this is totally Carolyn Zook's fault. So I think what I bought is part of this series that Nora Corbett Mirabilia did. And I started Christmas Fairy a few years ago. Well, I started this, I think, last year, but I got it for Christmas from one of my kids, the whole kit.
Yeah.
She has a Halloween one. I told Sarah she has 2 Halloween fairies out, but there was one specific for this series that I want so bad, and it's my unicorn chart. I can't find it anywhere. But anyway, so I had started Christmas Fairy, and I hope to work on her, even though she's not on my magazine monthly. I hope to work on her a little bit. But Carolyn Zook started the Thanksgiving Harvest Fairy, and I had never seen it, and she had shown it in her. I think she and Gary from Garon started it, and so I ordered it. It's gorgeous. This came in the mail.
Oh, pretty. That is pretty.
She's really beautiful. And I had recently, when I was trolling around 1-2-3 Stitch, I found some Stormy Night. So I'm going to do her on Stormy Night.
Pretty.
And why is this fabric in here?
Maybe you were thinking about doing that one first.
Oh no, it's for my other plans. Sorry. I forgot. Yeah, she only has a couple different beads, but her color flosses are.
Oh, that's gonna be pretty.
So I'm really excited about this. I'm not going to wait till fall to start her. It's, you know, they're not huge. These are not big ones.
Yeah.
They feel like they're doable. They're not like your forest queen.
Yeah.
Snow. That's
Yeah,
just
huge.
like, yeah. So that's one of my hauls. Then the other thing is that I don't think I talked about it. Did I talk about the shepherd's bush ornaments last week on
Yeah.
video?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so I did figure out that there are 8 shepherd's bush ornaments in, sorry, 8 different magazines. And I had collected these even when I was not stitching anymore, because I always knew that there was a shepherd's bush in there, and I thought maybe someday I would stitch them. So my goal for next year, is to stitch one of these every 2 months. And I think some of them will get done faster than that because they're not huge. And I had every magazine but one. And I found it on eBay, and it came this week. And it's the Shepherd's one. So it's, I mean, I could show it, but it's the Shepherd's Watched.
Oh yeah.
And so I now have all 8 of them. So my goal is to have 6 done at the end of 2023, and then have them in a bowl. And I thought, you know, I don't have a lot of room for a big dough bowl of all kinds of little small Christmas minis. I've just got so much Christmas, but I would love to have this nativity story. There's a Mary Joseph, there's a baby, there's the angel, there's, I think the very first one just says in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago or something like that. So anyway, I'm really excited about that.
Fun.
So I did buy a piece of fabric that all 6, no, I think all 8 will be able to fit on here eventually. And it's just a very generic brown.
Yeah.
And it calls for fancy floss.
You're gonna do it.
I am. Yeah, because I feel like this is could be kind of an heirloom piece over the years.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the charms, they were silver charms, are not necessarily available, but I think I'll be able to find them or substitutes. What are you looking at?
Sorry. The neighbors were hauling their kids on behind them in a sled, but they're just driving their little sedan, and now they're parked out in our driveway, like in the middle of the driveway with the hood up on the car. So I'm assuming they're having car problems. And
The hood is up.
I'm kind of hoping my kids don't see, because I don't want them to like go out in this cold, wet, sloggy snow anymore, because I'm pretty sure their snow stuff is all wet.
The other thing is, so some of that fancy floss that I showed goes for these ornaments. And it also calls for these Magnifica beads, which I guess are getting harder and harder to find.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, aren't they pretty?
Of course they are. Everything's harder to find.
This little thing is $5. And I don't know if all of them use the same beads or not, but you know, again, I'm willing to spend the money on these because I just feel like it's special. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, these classic color works that I bought are the ones that go to the Autumn Fairy.
Oh yeah.
Those ornaments call for weeks. Well, the first one does. So I got the stuff to start this is all the colors for that Autumn Fairy.
Ooh, yeah, those are pretty.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, I love that they're like such jewel tones with some of those pinks in there. Really
which I think on that blue fabric, that Stormy Night will be gorgeous. And then the nativity ornament is much more muted colors.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of them call for the same. I mean, I think there's overlap in these, so it's not like I'm going to be buying,
right,
you know, a new one, a whole new set every month.
Right.
You know, but I'm really excited about that. I think that'll be really fun and a doable goal. And yeah, so, and then I'm going to, my focus on my Hade. So the Quakers, the Hade, my Christmas Hawk Run Hollow, I think are going to be my focal pieces.
Nice.
I mean, yeah.
I haven't done any thinking about next year because I'm just thinking about every day as it comes.
Well, you know, Christmas is a lot different. We don't have little kids anymore. It really is. I mean, in some ways it's kind of bittersweet and sad. In other ways it's nice. It's more relaxing.
Yeah, we are done. We're on official school break now. So now we can do all the Christmas fun things like Christmas cookies and wrapping gifts. And
yeah,
our days are just so full. Every day is so full between ballet and school and me working and co-op, you know, all the things.
Yeah.
that there's just not a lot of time for the, like a lot of extra fun. So, because we do other fun, like co-op, that is just fun. So it's kind of nice. We're on break from co-op. We're on break. We're not on break from ballet, but that's, you know, a few times a week driving in and back.
Yeah.
But really not having to do school. I'm super glad that I decided that we ended school Friday.
Yeah.
I really like how I planned out our school year. I won't go into detail about it too much, but we'll end at a reasonable time. But I kind of squished some of our curriculum. We have a couple heavy weeks where we have 2 weeks that we're doing 3 weeks worth of work. So basically each week we do 1.5 worth of reading and 1.5, not math. I don't really overschedule math, but just so we can get through some of the like novels and historical readings and stuff we're doing. But this is the first year that I feel like I really planned it the way I want it, that we'll have breaks when I want them, and we won't go later into the summer. And because remember at the beginning of the school year, I said that the girls had decided, I said, do you want to have a few heavy, hard weeks, or do you want to have later through the summer? And they were like, heavy, hard weeks. We don't want to have school through the summer.
There's just something about that summer break. I think that kids, you know.
So I feel really good that we have basically a month, I think, off for, what is it, 11th? Let me look at the.
Well, I've mentioned this before. It took me a few years to figure this out when I was homeschooling, but when I started taking the second week of December going forward off was a game changer for us.
So we're taking off 4 weeks, and I'm so excited about that. We just need it. And I'm thinking about planning, and I think I might kind of look at my calendar and pencil in, like, today we're going to do this. So we'll still have kind of, usually with the girls, with kids, I think in general, they do best if there's some expectation or some routine. They need something. And I create that for myself with to-do lists and goal, you know, but they need that too. So I think I might look at my calendar. There's a few things that I want to get done that aren't necessarily just Christmassy, but then that's it. So I'm excited because
I think right above your shoulder, hanging on the tree, is one of my mom's ornaments.
It is. Jesse keeps trying to move those to the back because they're his least favorite looking ones. He thinks. Oh. But that one somehow got. I needed to tell him that. Because the girls are going to tell her anyways. You know, when we go over there and they see all of Grandma's ornaments on her tree, they're going to be like, Daddy keeps putting ours in the back. But I like them because I think they're special.
They're special.
There's a few. That one he left in. I might take another couple and move them to the back. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. He says he didn't, but I remember him moving the pink one back. It's like mad that I told you.
Well, too bad.
It's Grandma's.
They're heirlooms.
Okay, next time I'll pull off a couple favorites. Do you remember how I had those ballet slippers all my childhood? Those little ceramic ones with the pink bows on them? I hang them up every year, and now I love hanging them up because I'm a ballerina now.
You're a ballerina now.
I hung them up this year, and I kind of started cracking up. I was like, all those years I hung these up, and I had absolutely no interest or thought about ballet, and now I dance.
And probably I gave them to you the year that you probably were
when I was 5 or whatever, and I danced.
Yeah, and you know, we just couldn't afford that back then.
I know. Yeah, I don't know how we're only affording it because our teacher is incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those are kind of, I don't really have a lot of plans. I will do my hood. It has to be mailed out this week.
Yeah.
And then I will just keep doing my little spin to let it decide what I'm going to do. And I do want to kind of start thinking about next year some, but we'll see if I have the ability.
Yeah, I'm trying not to schedule a lot. Like, you know, I want some structure, but I also want the freedom. I mean, we always have the freedom, right? I mean, it's a hobby, for crying out loud. Like, I cannot do WIPGO this month and nobody's going to come arrest me, put me in cross-stitch jail or something. But yeah, I feel like I accomplished
cross-stitch police, remember?
Right. And I accomplished a lot on my WIPGO. I mean, because I've never gotten this far on it. And I even made up a couple months, 1.5 months I made up and kept going. So, and that was a big goal that I wanted to meet. So I feel okay about that. I do. And
you should probably just do 2 hours next year for each square, because then you can meet it really easily.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I don't even, what did I put
it wasn't really easy for me. It was just doable.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have my hoity-toity. I need to work on my hoity-toity.
Oh yeah.
and my ring around the rose tree,
Oh,
and my
and all your whip. Oh, did you
I
see
think
all
my
the comments? There were a lot of comments that they want a whip parade.
I saw that.
People have spoken. They say we need a whip parade, so we'll do that in January. We'll figure out how to do it in a way.
Maybe in January when things settle down after Bringo, when it's boring.
Yeah, maybe in February.
Bringo, I always feel like we have a lot to show during Bringo because you're stitching on something new every week.
Yeah, that's right.
Every day. Well, maybe not. Maybe if you have things on there twice, but I always feel like those episodes we have a lot.
Yeah, so maybe in February we'll do a whip parade.
Yeah, or towards the end of January. I don't know. I mean, it's a little more manageable because I've got it more organized now. So I could do it and it wouldn't be too overwhelming. And then I've pulled out some pieces that I won't, I've given you some stuff and
you've got.
I mean, it's still a lot. And it's a lot, but what's really a lot are my patterns.
Yeah, you do have a lot of patterns. And you keep buying them.
Well, I've kind of slowed down a little bit.
A little, yeah, you have a little bit.
I have. I mean, and the reality is when I started stitching again, I didn't really know about Mirabilias. I didn't know about Nora Corbett. I mean, I knew about them, but I didn't. But I think there is something about your tastes change too as you stitch, and so I think eventually I'll go back through those patterns again, in a year, and possibly cull out patterns again that I'll think, well, I really like them, but I probably won't stitch them.
Yeah,
and that's okay. I've got you and the girls to pass things down to.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm just going to get rid of them and waste them or give them away as giveaways if nobody wants them. But I do.
We do have a giveaway today.
We do. So here it is. I got my
Fat Quarter
Shop Stitch Quarterly that I'm going to give away this week because it's not one that I think I will stitch. I think it's very darling. I did, but it's just not. I just got so many other Christmas, and so we're going to give this away. It is Mrs. Claus. I'm gonna take it out of the plastic so it shows up a little better because she's got very white hair. So it's Mrs. Claus, and she is cute.
Yeah.
We've been watching, by the way, is it Netflix or I think it's Netflix. Tim Allen and what's her face did a new series this year called the Santa Clauses.
I haven't watched
and it's been fun. Oh, it's cute. And it's like every week there's a new episode. I think there's only a couple left now, but basically he leaves the North Pole and there's a new Santa and things are not going well. But part of Mrs. Claus, part of the gal that plays Mrs. Claus, is she goes, I don't even have a name. My name is just Mrs. Claus. You get all the glory and I don't even have a name. So
Mrs. Claus.
Yeah. So it was kind of cute to get Mrs. Claus, and it comes with the floss, and it comes with, I think, a 14 count, very pretty blue, minty green, I guess, opalescent fabric. And here's your flosses. And I was going to keep the needle minder, but I think I'll go ahead and include the needle minder. I'm not a big, and so it's Mrs. Claus needle minder, which I think is so cute.
That is cute.
So we were going to use the word Claus.
Yeah.
Claus. Claus.
Yeah.
If you would like to win Mrs. Claus.
And the packet to go with it.
And the whole thing. And you get the cute little bag, everything in here.
Oh, wait, wow.
I did decide I was going to discontinue this club because this is not a cheap one.
Yeah.
Actually my Historical Stitching Society one that comes from England is less money. Well, it's a little bit less, probably maybe, or comparable with the shipping, but you get everything to even finish I mean, those ones are, I told Dad, he goes, how are they even making it? I said, I don't know. But I'm going to keep that one for a little while longer until Dad retires and I can't afford it. But oopsie, what was in there? So anyway, I would love to pass this on.
Sweet. So you use the word Claus in your comment down below and we'll draw for a winner next week.
Yeah.
On your birthday.
On my birthday. And I did mail off all the other giveaways. They're all mailed off. Except for any you're waiting for from me. I have a Winnie the Pooh ones from a really long time ago and a quilting pattern that needs to go to Heather. So if you're waiting on some from me, those are the two that I have to send out still.
I'm going to try to go mail off some gifts this week. So those will go in with me to the post office.
Yeah, I felt that was a big burden to get those out the door. So you should be getting those if you haven't already gotten it. It was a couple days ago. I think I got them out. I think there's one, the most recent one. I think the January Heart and Hand to Sharon Mann. I don't think that's gone out yet.
Okay.
But it's sitting there. It's ready to go. It's got a stamp and everything. I just need to put in the mail.
Yeah.
So that's that. So yeah, that's also part of my plans is to keep with that club, the Historical Society.
Yeah.
But I can't see joining the Fabric of the Month or Floss of the Month. Floss of the Month, you know, I think would be great if you were one who
Your own colors.
changed colors a lot. I don't do that very often, so I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
cost effective for you. It would be more cost effective to just go get your own colors.
Yeah,
the patterns you want. Yeah, unless you were trying to build a whole set or something of some color, then that might make sense. But you're not doing that either, so.
No, in fact, even like with some of these projects I went and got fancy flosses for, I probably have a few of those already in my stash, but you don't get a ton on them.
Yeah.
You know, and so the thing is once you've used one of those and you have some left, it may not even be enough to do another project with.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I keep them and I should organize it better, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm at a place where I can do that.
It's just fine to do it.
And I mean, I couldn't have done that, 20 years ago. I couldn't have been buying that. And I won't be able to do it probably after February when Dad retires.
Just enjoy it while you got it.
He says, your little trips to Hobby Lobby might be coming to an end. I'm like, I'm still working.
Yeah.
I think he's a little freaked out.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird transition to him, probably.
It is. In fact, the other day we were talking, he goes, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, retirement.
And I said, well,
first you're going to recover from your knee surgery. That's the first line of order. And
he did put all that photography, that film developing on his thing, and I did buy him a bunch of that stuff. I think the only thing I didn't buy him was the trays, and he can buy those because we have a lot of film, and he loves photography, and he has my camera, and I think he has his old Canon. So I said, you might take up photography again, Carrie. You might take a class at the Parks Department. You
got a cello too. He could work on learning the cello. Oh, maybe I should buy that from him. I would love to learn how to play cello. Yeah, I didn't think about his hands.
I don't think he'll pick it up again. Yeah, his fingers are very stiff.
Yeah.
Like when we go out to eat and there's a ketchup packet, he has a really hard time opening the ketchup packet. Yeah. But I said, you haven't had time to, for all your working years, you've worked weekends. You've gotten every 5th or 6th weekend off. And then we had family things. You haven't had time to develop a hobby all these years, really.
Yeah.
And I said, so, Carrie, you might go volunteer somewhere. He said, I think it'd be really fun to volunteer at a library.
Mm-hmm.
I said, the world is going to be your oyster for the first time in your adult life.
Do whatever. Did I tell you that I applied to be a trustee at our library? I don't think I'll get it. I think they had a lot of applicants, so I don't think I'll get the position, but I just applied this week.
What does the trustee do?
The board, the library board. They're kind
of
fun. Yeah. So they get openings.
They had a lot of people apply?
They said, well, at least a few.
To your little dinky library?
To the whole system, to the Yakima library system, not just to my little library, but to Yakima Valley libraries. They had a few. So
that's just Yakima, Toppenish, Hara.
Yakima, Toppenish, Sunnyside, White Swan, Hara.
So
it's like the whole lower valley.
Oh, okay.
Did I say Sunnyside? I think Sunnyside is included in that, but now I'm saying Zilla.
Outlook.
For sure, Zilla. I don't know if Sunnyside is, Outlook is, but I don't know if Outlook has a library. I'm not even sure that Sunnyside does, or is in the same network, but I think it is. But
Laura, what else would they be part of?
Yeah, I'm not sure unless they were part of like Tri-Cities somehow, but I don't think they would be there.
That's a long way.
Granger. Yeah, there's several little communities that all have libraries connected to the Yakima Valley libraries. So I had seen an advertisement for they needed a new trustee. Somebody's going off the board. And I think you can serve basically a max of 10 years. I think it's 2 5-year terms. So the commitment is 5 years. So I thought, well, if I don't get it this time, I'll just apply again, maybe if I want to again in the future. I've always told Jesse, like for years and years, if I ever kind of was involved in a civic something, it would probably be the libraries. I'm like a firm believer in the library system. I really like it. I really think it's good and it should thrive. So he said, you should apply. And I was like, it was like once a month meetings and, you know, I don't,
Oh, yeah.
every time I won't get it.
Yeah.
But there is a foundation as well. So if I don't get that position, I might get involved with the foundation that helps.
Maybe Dad will do something like that.
Yeah, you should look at that kind of stuff. He would like that.
Also, I think with the recession that we're hit, I mean, I don't know if we're officially in it or not. I think financially he's a little concerned.
Yeah,
but I don't think he'll work past his surgery. I think there was talk that he maybe work through the spring. He would not for sure ever do another Christmas again. And I don't know. It just kind of depends on where it might. He can change his retirement date whenever he wants.
He can.
It's not set in stone. Yeah, he can work longer. You know, they were mandated supposedly to come in and work today. His whole office, you guys. Now that is not part of the contract. I mean, they're totally breaking the contract. Management is, and so he thought about going in, which I about beamed him, because he's going to have a day off next week when he has a doctor appointment. So he said, well, I'll still only work 5 days. But after he came back in from his route yesterday, a bunch of other carriers were like, I'm not coming in. If you come in, let us know how it goes. So I told them it's kind of like it's like their way of doing a strike. Like
like a mini strike kind of.
Yeah, so this is what really gets me. Their contract says they cannot strike, but England right now, the UK, they're having postal strikes 2 days at a time throughout like November and December. But that's why the mail carriers never strike in the US, because it's against their contract. I said, but they're already going against your contract.
I was going to say, how can you, isn't that what the whole union is kind of for, is to protect that? So that
you think
if they're not doing that, striking seems like your only option.
He doesn't know this, but I called his union hotline the other day and said, I want to be anonymous, but I just, because they have like a union newsletter that comes out that carriers write articles for. And it's usually really slamming and bitching and moaning about management, because management is always trying something. It's so mismanaged. And the things they try to make things better, it's like, do you even know what you're doing? Do you see what we're doing every day? How is this going to make this better? Anyway, so I did. I said, I just want to know, in case anybody doesn't know this or wants to write up a story about it. I said, Renton office is making them work Sundays, mandating Sundays supposedly, and promising them their day off during the week, but nobody trusts them to get that day off. No. And so I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but.
Oh boy.
I just thought, and I said, honey, if you don't go in on Sunday, what are they going to do? Are they going to fire you? Heck no, they're not firing anybody. They can't afford to fire anybody.
Yeah.
And I said, and if they write you up, you're retiring in a month. Who cares if they write you up? It's the first time you've been written up in 33 years. What do you do?
Oh gosh. It's so interesting.
It's so bad. So if you have a carrier that looks haggard and is working, I'm sure it is not just our area. Although our area
Spokane, there was a night that we were out and about, and it was like 8 o'clock, and there was still people doing walking routes in the snow and ice in the dark.
Oh yeah,
like well into the dark, not twilight, not 4 o'clock, not 5 o'clock. It was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and they're doing things that they've never done before. Like carrier will come into work and they'll say, don't deliver your mail today, just do your packages. So then people on his route aren't getting their regular mail or the small packages that come in your regular mail.
When you don't get your mail and you might get your paycheck or something through the mail, because some people do, then that's meds. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal. And so they're doing things that they've never done that. I mean, Christmas has always been a little crazy, but this has been beyond the beyond.
Yeah.
And I don't, and again, he has said, I feel bad, my postmaster, she looks really stressed. And I said, I don't care. She gets paid 10 times more than you. She should be stressed. So anyway, it's been a rough month.
Yeah.
And his knee has been, I don't know if we talked about it last week, but his knee was really bad last weekend, and he took Monday and Tuesday off, and his shoulder was bad. So, it's time. This job has taken a toll. He said there's another carrier who has a 5 day. So he got a new work note too. So he only works supposedly 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. End of story. And he said another carrier has the same letter. I said, oh, really? I didn't realize she was as old as he was. And I go, why does she have a 5-day note? And he goes, oh, Kim, she's in worse shape than I am. I'm like, oh, it's pretty bad when they all retire and they're having to have all their joints replaced. And this happens a lot, where they go in and they have hips and knees and shoulder surgeries before they retire because of the wear and tear of the job. So anyway, I'm proud of them.
It's not a job you think of having a lot of physical wear and tear, but it is, because they're hauling, they're walking, they're getting in and out of vehicles, they're moving, they're repetitive motion. It kind of is a lot of wear and tear.
A lot of wear and tear. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and his whole shoulder injury happened because he did a apartment complex that had one of these huge, big metal boxes. It wasn't his route. And he didn't realize that when he opened the door and all the boxes were inside, that the door dropped a little bit on the hinge. And when he went to lift it up or whatever, something to do with that door, is when he injured his shoulder. And that was probably 10 years ago. He's been living with that. So yeah, it's time for him to enjoy some life and have some fun.
Yeah.
Hard worker. And he's worked 2 jobs a lot of the years that we were raising kids. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm not happy that I have to work another 6
Yeah, you do need to do that
anyway. But my job is a heck of a lot less stressful than his. So
yeah.
It's okay.
Around. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I think we're just going to survive. We're just going to survive the next week. And then he's on vacation vacation is part of the next week. And then the week after Christmas. So
good. Fun.
Yes. Christmas is going to be here like in 2 weeks.
I know. There's
2 weeks.
Sunday, and then the next Sunday is Christmas.
2 weeks.
I have a lot to do.
Wasn't it just
been
fall?
reading your book, Mom? What?
I have been reading. Wasn't it just fall?
I know. It was, because we didn't really get much fall, at least here. It went from
I know. Fall went weird. I did read a little bit in my book.
Christmas bookshop.
It's okay. Yeah, I like it. The sisters are a little bizarre. I think that there'll be a redeeming storyline there, is what I think will happen. But they're very different from each other, and one is a perfectionist, and one is kind of the younger sister that's just kind of floating through life, kind of like true to life for me.
Some people that we know. I finished the Silmarillion finally. Yay. So I picked up another book that I like this author a lot. She's written several things. One was Howl's Moving Castle. But I realized after I started reading it, and it doesn't really seem to matter, but apparently I'm reading book 3. I didn't realize there was a book 1 and 2.
What series is it?
It's called the Dalemark Quartet.
Oh.
The book is called The Spell Coats. And I don't think the other 2 books maybe are based on the same people. Like maybe it's based in the same land. I'm not really sure, but so far it's about some children, and she's young and kind of, it's written definitely from the perspective of a young person, like a child at this point, but it is also, it's probably written like a teenager looking back on her childhood a little bit. So there's things that she doesn't really understand, or things that she's a little naive about. Like, so there's this war. It's a fantasy novel. It's just based in kind of a fantasy land called Dalemark. Very Scandinavian feeling to me. And I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Who's the author?
It's Diana Wynne Jones. And I read, what was the other one? Oh, do you remember way back a couple of years ago, I read The Dark Lord of Durkholm. I probably talked about it on here, but it's been a long time. I really loved that book. That was by her as well. It's really fun.
Oh, okay.
Here's the premise. Tanakwi and her family don't resemble the other villagers. Even worse, they resemble the heathens who have invaded the country that will one day be known as Dalemark. When terrible floods cause further catastrophe, the family is blamed and must flee their village as a mysterious force drives them toward the sea. Tanakwi realizes that a great evil is destroying her country and only she can stop it. So
I'm really like those. Dad might like.
I bet he would. So I should find book 1 and 2, and maybe I should start with those instead. But now I'm like a little ways in, and I'm enjoying it. It's an easy read. It's not heavy duty. It's probably, I don't know what. I was going to see if it's like marked, juvenile fiction. It's not. It doesn't feel like juvenile fiction, but a young adult would enjoy it.
What was that other book that you read about the inheritance? Is it called The Inheritance Games?
The Inheritance Games, I think, is the first one, and I'm waiting for the second one still from the library.
I was
So
thinking about him for that one too. I know he reads a lot on his tablet, but I'd like to get him a book.
he might like that one. Has he read The Westing Game?
Years ago.
He would probably like rereading The Westing Game. I think The Westing Game is better than the one I just read.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
The one I just read is fun too. It definitely has a young adult feel. Like if he doesn't mind that, like young romancy, then he wouldn't mind it. There's just some of that, like
I think he'd like the fantasy one. And I was going to ask Jesse actually if he'd read any new fantasy authors.
Jesse hasn't read anything. Jesse reads counseling books right now. He has all these grand plans. He did buy a book the other day. I don't know. Maybe he'll read it during Christmas break. The other thing I'm reading, I think I showed this last week. This is kind of a devotional with a poem and a reflection on the poem. So I thought maybe if we're I think we're at the end, right? This is all, we talked about everything on my list.
Yeah, you didn't have any haul.
I didn't have any haul. No, I'm just doing all Christmas gifts right now. But I really liked this poem. It's by a contemporary poet named Lucy Shaw, who's still writing poems. If she's still alive, she's still writing poems. If she passed, it was pretty recently. So this was in her book from 2010. But she was born in 1928, so she's not young. Like she's been writing a long time. The word for the poem is called kenosis, which is the Greek word for, used in the Bible. There's a passage that says that he emptied himself of all but love. So it's talking about Jesus becoming a man. And the Greek word for emptying like that is kenosis. So I thought this poem was really beautiful. In sleep, his infant mouth works in and out. He is so new, his silk skin has not yet been roughed by plane and wooden beam, nor so far has he had to deal with human doubt. He is in a dream of nipple found, of blue-white milk, of curving skin, and pulsing in his ear the inner throb of a warm heart's repeated sound. His only memories float from fluid space, so new he has not pounded nails, hung a door, broken bread, felt rebuff, bent to the lash, wept for the sad heart of the human race. I just thought
that's beautiful.
Liked that. I thought the reflection of him as just this totally innocent baby, but then the hint of what's to come in that third stanza, I just thought was really beautiful poem. So I need to go find more of her poetry. I have seen a few of her poems, Lucy Shaw, but I haven't read any of her like books. So I need to go.
It's really pretty. Yeah, that was good.
It's really
beautiful poem. I did not ever download an Advent book. I was going to, and I didn't.
Well, that's all right.
Maybe next year I'll get around to it.
Yeah. We've been doing the Hallelujah. We've been doing the Messiah every day too. That's been really fun. Just listening and reading the scripture that goes with it.
There's I bet on my Amy Grant Christmas CD I have in my car. There's a kind of not a montage, but kind of a mashup of instrumental song. I forget what it starts off with, but then it goes into just a very short piece from Messiah, and then it ends. And I was like, I should listen to the whole Messiah again.
Yeah.
Michael W. Smith had that Handel's Messiah out years ago, and I do remember liking that.
Yeah. Was that the young Messiah, or was that another one? Yeah.
Yeah, we actually did have that at one time, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. I mean, it's such a magnificent work of art, that whole piece.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah, I don't have much else. Dad's in there wrapping. I'm gonna have to go do the bows and the tags.
Oh,
bless his heart.
Be wrapping later, tomorrow maybe, when Jess is gone.
Yeah, and now you're on break, so you don't have to do school.
I'm on break, so I can do that whenever. Yep.
I got all my laundry folded. I think I'm ready for the week.
Yay.
Ash is coming, and my daughter-in-law is coming in. She's not going to be with us until the weekend, but I had this great fantasy that my son was coming with her, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it sounded like you couldn't get time off work, right?
Couldn't get any time off from work, retail.
Sucks.
They had a blackout, and so he doesn't get to come home this year. So I'm hoping next year he's not working there anymore, and they can come home.
Me too.
And it's kind of a bummer. It's And I know he loves family. So for her to come and him not to be able to come, I think he's going to be. And she's not staying very long. She's staying from Wednesday to Wednesday, I guess. Wednesday night to Wednesday morning. So it'll be a long haul, but he'll be working long hours. So
yeah,
it's kind of sad, but I mean, I'm happy that she gets to come and she'll see her family most of the time here and spend some time with our family, which will be fun.
Nice.
See the baby and
yeah,
do birthday. It's my birthday, and then her birthday is actually the 28th of December. So she kept saying, yeah, we're going to do birthday at Kelly and Austin's for your birthday next Saturday. I said, okay. And then I finally said, are we doing your birthday too while you're here? And she goes, that's funny. I hadn't even thought about it. I said, well, it's up to you. If you want to save your gifts to open for your real birthday, you can. But
yeah,
she hadn't even really thought about it. We have 3 December birthdays, so it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
All right around Christmas.
Right
the
around.
18th, the 22nd, I think, is Cass. 22nd, or she the 20?
I think so.
I think 22nd. And then the 28th. So yeah. It was kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just gonna stitch away. I might do a wheel with my magazine monthly.
Yeah. I
kind of sit there every night and think, well, which one do I want to work on? I like them all. This will get me.
Me too. That's kind of what I needed this month.
Yeah. And hopefully you'll have time to do a little bit more.
I hope so.
Are you making Spritz cookies this year?
I guess I have to probably, huh? Yeah, I guess I better make Spritz cookies.
I'll make my little peppermint thumbprints. I love those.
Yeah, those are yummy.
I'm going to make them next weekend, so they'll be a little fresher at Christmas time. And I bought some things at Trader Joe's that are just fun, snacky things to have out, I figure.
Yeah.
Dad said he said, Kim, he goes, I had some cookies the other day at work. I think they're called pecan sandies.
That's so funny. I was just listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
That gives the whole recipe for them in the podcast. It's a gal I really like. She does a lot of mentoring of women and she has a whole ministry and I listen to her every week. She's like probably her age. Her kids are probably my age. That's the first cookie they make every year were pecan sandies. However you say the word. Pecan, I say pecan sandies.
Pecan sandies. And he goes, yeah, I really like them. He goes,
I've been thinking about making those too. So maybe I'll make some.
He said, but then there's not really any cookies that I've ever not liked. He is a cookie. He loves cookies.
He loves cookies. I like cookies too. I could go with cookies over cake any day.
Oh, well, yeah, I would over cake. Although Ashley's making her Kahlua chocolate cake for my birthday, and I do like that cake.
Oh, fun.
It's a bunt. It's a bunta cake.
A bunta cake.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Thanks for watching and joining our chat and our Christmas planning and our stitching. And let us know what you're reading or what you're working on this week, stitching or otherwise. And we hope you have.
Yeah. If you've got something to send in, do we have another feature friend for next week?
I think I do have somebody ready to go, but please send in. I love to have a kind of a stockpile so that I can just keep featuring them.
To do them in order that they come in?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking. I have a couple still. So I have a couple weeks worth, but send them on in and I'll just keep them in a folder.
Let us know how or if you're watching any good Christmas movies, what are you watching?
Oh yeah. What's your favorite Christmas movie? We were watching A Christmas Prince right before I stopped. I paused it to Flosstube. That goofy one, it's so bad.
Is it really bad?
Well, no, it's just.
Is it a Hallmark or just one of the other channels?
Netflix. It's one of the earliest Netflix when they were just starting to do all those Christmas movies. I forget the actress's name, who I really like, and she's actually a pretty good actress, but
Lacey Shober or whatever her name is. The Christmas movies, Lacey.
Yeah.
Schaubert, I think her name is.
Is that her name? I can't remember. I know her from another show called iZombie, and that's what I always think of her as.
I don't know.
It's just not great. It's just not great quality. Like there's some things I'm like, okay, you guys, that's just like too corny or too obvious, but it's still fun and the girls and I like it. Jesse wouldn't want to sit and watch it, but we'll just put it on and I was just kind of getting.
We might try to watch the Noel Diary or whatever that one was.
Yeah, that one was good.
You know what's funny about that? When I was floss tubing last week with you, Dad was scanning through Netflix and that when the trailer popped up and I heard him go, oh, that looks like a good one. And he is not one to watch romance.
Jesse liked it.
Yeah.
That was Jesse's reaction too. Like, I could watch that. That's more Nicholas Sparks than Hallmark.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, some of those.
That was a cute one. Do watch that one.
Some of those Hallmark and they're just
so they're just not good writing and they're sappy and
but
this one is
really
this one is not as sad. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's maybe a 6 for
Which one? The Noel?
The Christmas Prince. The Noel Diaries is, I think, higher. I think the quality of the acting is better. The storyline was better. It's
Christmas Prince.
The Christmas Prince. It's just smart. It's just smart.
It's kind of nice because they're clean and you can watch them with the girls.
They're clean and we can watch them. And there's like 3 of them. There's the Christmas Prince, a Christmas Baby, a Christmas Wedding, and a Christmas Baby. And I've never watched the baby one because it came out last year or the year before, but we never got through.
Well, maybe I'll watch those at night when Dad goes to bed.
They're funny and fluffy, and you could play Christmas bingo and it would probably hit all of the squares for Christmas bingo, Christmas movie bingo. Movie bingo. Just Google that. Fill it out as you watch. It's an entertaining activity. And you also do that, so we can do that while we watch it. Oh, Millie's here. Oh, coming in under the wire. Come on,
Millie.
What you've been working on?
Come on, you're our crafty girl.
All right, crafty.
Whoa. You've been working on your blanket.
Chunky. Nope, this is a scarf she's making.
Oh, a scarf. That's not your blanket. That's right. Woo.
Not a blanket. This is a
big
scarf. What patterns are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
They're just kind of trying things. So I think we've got some pearl knit. There was a herringbone thing in here, but she somehow, I have never stitched herringbone and she got 2 stitches less. So I don't know if it decreased or 3 stitches less. So
I don't know.
This is probably not the best yarn for doing herringbone because you're not really going to be able to see the pattern with all the fuzzies. But so I might just help her take it out. But she did do it.
What size are those needles?
What are these, 13s?
Wow.
13. Yeah.
That's going to be big and fluffy.
She's making it for herself, I think. She's loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I heard the girl that you gave your hat to for your party really liked it.
Yeah, you want to talk about the gift exchange? How that went?
It went good.
It went good. So
what did you get?
She liked yours.
I got.
Get out of that dog. What did you get?
I got the cocoa mix and
bookmarks.
And a bracelet.
Homemade bookmarks. Oh, sorry, that's my crock pot.
Oh.
Homemade bracelet?
No, and a bracelet and bookmarks.
It was fun. All the girls really did do homemade things, handmade things.
Cool.
So that was fun to see all the different things. There were some paintings, there were some knit goods, because of course all the little girls are in knitting class, so knit stuff.
Well, not all of them.
Not all, but a lot of the girls are.
That sounds fun.
What else? Cookies. There was some Rosie got some gingerbread cookies and something else and stuff. So there was some handmade goodies, homemade goodies, and it was cute. It was so cute. They were all sitting in a circle. They all went one at a time and made sure they knew who got which person, and
fun.
It was cute. They did a good job organizing.
What did Liddy end up giving her person?
A really small safety.
Oh, she was doing a safety pin jewelry, wasn't she?
Yeah, she did safety pin jewelry. Did she stick something else in there? I think that might have been it. But then the girl that she gave to also had her, and that girl had crocheted her a really cute cowl.
Oh, fun.
Not really fun.
Yeah.
And what did Rosie give?
Rosie made those, do you have one handy? Not really. We did duct tape zipper pouches. No, it's down with my work stuff because I had put documents in it. You take a Ziploc bag and you cover it with duct tape. You can cut it to what size you want and then make sure you just cover the bottom too. So it looks like a little pencil pouch or a project bag or like a little.
Cute.
So she made me one too the other day.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So it was
like it was successful, a successful party and lots of fun.
It was successful.
Yes.
It was.
I miss the days where we did little gift exchanges and stuff like at work, but we don't.
We did
do any of that anymore.
Last year, but not everybody made something.
Some of the girls didn't remember they had to make something, so they. This
So,
year,
yeah,
everybody did though. It was clear.
followed the rules this year.
They did it.
It
Okay.
was fun last year, but it was more fun this time.
More
Because you got to see what everybody made.
because you got to see what everybody made.
Also
Yeah.
was opening at the same time last year.
Oh yeah. So Rosie says everybody last year opened at the same time, but this year they went one at a time. So it was more fun this year because you could
You
really
can see what everybody's getting. Yeah. I think that's more meaningful anyway.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey,
Okay.
well, on we go.
I hope you have a happy, good week and stay warm and dry and happy stitching.